Hey mama, I'm going to share 3 actions that you need to take in order to shape your career. And these are things that I had to learn, and I kind of learned the hard way. In fact, I learned one of the hardest ways. I had a boss. He used to say to me, look, the big decisions about you are not made when you're in the room. You are never in the room where it happens when it comes to big decisions being made about your career. And let me tell you, as a senior leader, I can let you know it is very true, right? You are not in the room when the decisions about you are being made. And that is why it's so important that you learn how to shape those decisions, right? Because if you can't be in the room, you could at least be in a place to shape what's happening in the room. And so I'm going to give you 3 tips to do that. The first is that you need to be a rock star. Knock it out of the park, have high quality work. You really need to be delivering. There needs to be no doubt about how awesome you are as an employee, as a worker. The second is that you need to be very clear on what it is that you want. Not what the company wants for you, what you want for yourself, what you want for your career. You have to be clear on that, because once you're clear on that, you can articulate it and you can share it and you can start to shape what happens when you're not in the room. And the third is, once you're clear on what you really want, you need to let the right people know. You need to let the people who are making the decisions, who are in the room where it happens, know what it is that you want and why you should get it, so that they can help to pound the table for you, so that they can help to steer your career in the direction that you want it to go. And I'll tell you, look, I made the mistake of not doing this, especially number 3, not letting the right people know what I wanted out of my career. And so I got to a point where I was, I had a lot of ambition and I didn't see a lot of room for growth. And so I ended up leaving my company and going and working for someone else. And then not too long after that, they called me back and said, hey, we've got this more senior position. Would you want to come back and work in this role? And I was like, well, yeah, but like, why did you let me leave at first? And a part of it was that folks just didn't know I had the ambition to move in that direction, because I hadn't let the right people know. You gotta let the right people know. And so who are the right people, right? That's the big question. Who are the right people? It is your immediate boss. It's your boss's boss. It is any senior leader who has a stake in the area that you are interested in. It's also your influential peers, right? So the people who sit on the left and the right of you, those lateral folks, right, who are influential in the organization, let them know what you want. And then, there are always people in the org who have the ear of senior people. They should also know what you want. When those group of people know what you want, you are much more likely to be able to shape the decisions that happen in the room where you're not about you. And how do you do it, right? That becomes the big question. You have to let them know that you want to grow in the organization, or that you want to pivot, or that you want to shift in your career. You have to let them know that you have bigger ambitions to do something else, to do something more. And that doesn't have to be a promotion. It could just be that you're interested in a different area of work. It could be that you're interested in managing more people. Whatever it is, you have to let them know, right? So get clear, and then let that group of people that I mentioned, your boss's boss, your influential peers, the people who have the ear of senior leaders, and any senior leader that is a decision maker in the area that you're interested in. Let them know what you want. And there is a trick, right? There's a trick to using the right words to be able to say this. And the way that you do that is by setting it up where when you share what you want, others benefit from it, right? So let's say that you want to get promoted. How is the company going to benefit from your promotion? How is the individual that you're talking to going to benefit from your promotion? You need to set that up. And then when you talk to people, understand that you are giving those folks the bullet points that they need, the talking points that they need to express why you should get what you want, right? So if, for example, you really want to work more in strategy, you can say to your boss, you can say to your peers, hey, I would really like to work more in strategy. I'd like to work with more with, the strategic thoughts of the organization, with the growth of the organization. And when I do that, I'll be able to bring this past experience that I have. I'll be able to bring this outside experience that I have. And it's going to help the organization to see things in a new way. It's going to add a gap, right? Because I know no one else has this experience. I'll be able to bring that to the table. Share the thoughts with them about why the organization is going to benefit and why they as an individual also might benefit from you getting what you want. And it is going to by far be one of the best ways that you can shape the decisions that are happening when you are not in the room. And, again, if you think about it like bullet points that you want to give them, then they'll be able to walk away and say something like, oh yeah, Whitney would be so great in that role, or Whitney would be so great for that task. Did you know that she already does X, Y, and Z outside of work? Did you know that she already has this experience from a previous job? Did you know that not only does she have a passion for this, but she's delivered on it elsewhere, right? These types of things will help them. And then the key thing, the really cool thing is that if you're talking to a lot of different people about this, about what you want, when they get together, they're going to have the same talking points, right? They're going to have the same ideas about you, and that's just going to build, right? They're just going to be like, oh, right, yeah, we're all in agreement that Whitney would be really great at X, Y, and Z because of this past experience that she has. Magic. This is how you start to shape the decisions that are happening when you are not in the room. So what I want you to do in this moment, because look, if you are only watching this and you're not actually taking action, you're not going to benefit from it, at least not in the same way. And so I want you to take action. I want you to write down 10 different people. First, actually, I want you to write down what it is that you want next for your career. How do you want to grow? What do you want that's different? And then I want you to write down 10 different people in your organization who should know about this. Next, I want you to write 5 separate bullet points that you can share with them about why you should get this thing that you want for your career. And lastly, I want you to share it with them today. Don't wait, today. Go ahead and share those bullet points with the folks with that list of 10. Right? You don't have to share them all today, but at least one person, right? Take the initiative to share with at least one person. It could be over email, it could be in a chat, and like, oh, hey, here's a pro tip. When someone asks you how you are, right? Don't let it be a like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Like with no meaning or real feeling behind it. When someone asks how you're doing, don't respond like, yeah, okay, sure, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm great. Everything's good. Say, oh, I'm really good. And I was just thinking the other day that it would be so great if I was able to work on XYZ project. Because if I were able to do that, I'd add this value to the organization. Those were my thoughts, right? So just transition and make sure that you're sharing at every opportunity what it is that you want. Because when people know what you want, they can help you to get it. If they don't know what you want, then they can't support you as you need to be supported. That's it, mama. Go ahead and take some action today.